Sit down, spark one up, see what you know. It's time for the Marty and Mr. Bill show.
You ready? Mr. Bill.
Yes, what's happening?
So here we're going to try this again, man. This is a topic I got interested in. We both agreed this was something probably worth talking about, and we might as well tape it.
I agree.
But I was it started off. My niece was over here, and she has no internet, and she had this show she just had to watch. It was called Catfish.
Catfish.
I don't know if you've ever seen this show or not. It's
Never seen it, man.
Completely retarded reality TV bullshit, man. Where these people, these two guys, all they do is they run around trying to prove that these people are having these relationships online for 2 or 3 years, never met the person before.
Probably two dudes, and they don't even know.
Yeah, and then that's what they're doing. They're trying to prove the person's not who they are, you know. And my niece is just believes this whole thing is just how real life is, you know. And they're going to run out and they bust these people and they do this shit. And in reality, how many people out there are really stupid enough to have a relationship for 3 years with somebody online and have never seen a picture, really seen them?
More motherfuckers than you think. It's amazing. Oh, by the way, as always, we're too high and we forgot. We're two guys talking. We do this shit because we get high and we talk.
And this was one of those discussions we started to talk about. And we said, well, let's turn this thing on.
This is correct.
So you guys got to listen to what we think about this. We'd like to hear what you think about this.
Yes.
But
always comment.
But the whole thing I saw was a reality TV thing, and she had latched onto this thing, and it got me thinking, the way things are nowadays. Now, when me and Mr. Bill were coming up, okay, for one thing, television was rare, you know, if you got to watch it at all.
Well, we had cable. Not when we were kids, but...
No. When we were kids, we did, man. When we were kids...
3 channels, man.
3 channels. There were 3 television networks. That was it.
I remember WILX, Onondaga, Michigan.
Well, there you go, man. Yeah. And,
fucking test pattern, man. 1 o'clock. Dun, 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 dun. It was done till fucking 8 o'clock or 6.
I believe all it was ABC, NBC, and CBS.
Well, that was it. Well, WILX, man. But that was a fucking state thing. That was a college station, though.
Okay. But
just broadcast local. No, that might have been ABC. In all honesty, come think about it.
Well, see, so there everything was simple, man, and you had everything going on, and if you wanted to see anything on television, you were going to watch it on these 3 networks anyhow. So they had no reason to try to put anything negative out there or anything like that, or anything to try to make you watch them.
Oh, no, man. I mean, like, I got up in the morning, what the fuck, man? Popeye and shit. Next thing you know, I'm watching, what was that motherfucker, man? Captain Kangaroo.
Everything they tried to show was positive television, you know. It didn't matter what it was, kids, adults, everything.
Never understood, though. Why the fuck did they pick Captain Kangaroo? That motherfucker was like 11 years old when he did it. I mean, he just died like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, and he looked like he was 99 back when he did it, man. He had that fucking sheep, he wore a fucking, his name is Bob Keeshan. He wore that Mo hat.
I love Captain Kangaroo, man.
Yeah, I like Captain Kangaroo too, man. I mean, I like the fact that, what was it, the bunny rabbit would fuck him up with ping pong balls all the time and shit. Every time a motherfucker think he's outsmarted Bunny Rabbit and Mr. Moose and shit, and they will fuck him over with some ping pong balls.
There you go, man. But see,
then you had Mr. Green Jeans, and that motherfucker never wore green jeans. They were always blue jeans. They called him Mr. Green Jeans.
But see,
and a lot of times people thought that was Alice Cooper's dad, man.
Oh, they said that for years, man, and
Well, it's
that's
because
still
his family were vaudeville, and he looked a little bit like him.
there's people that still believe that too.
It's
And,
not true though.
but me and Mr. Bill will go online saying that that is not true, folks. Although Alice Cooper probably wishes he was his dad, he's not really his dad.
Well, Alice Cooper's real name is Vincent Fournier. He's
There
a
we
French
go.
motherfucker with a nose like none other. Durante could be his fucking dad. Well, of course, you and I know that. Nobody else knows who old people would know, but young people would be like, Durante, is that some fucking rap star or something? You know, no, that's a motherfucker that had a nose that was a foot long, man. He used to be, Mrs. Good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are, whoever the fuck she was.
Okay, but here we go, man.
Sorry, man.
That's how television started out with us.
Captain
You know,
Kangaroo
and
and Channel 3 Clubhouse, man.
Leave It to Beaver, all that shit,
Oh
man. You
yeah,
know,
Father
and
Knows Best.
and
Now it's like Father Grabs Bust.
here come we're pulling into the '80s, man. You know, I'm getting a little bit older. I'm still young, you know, and
Well, cable showed up, man, in the
that's when
70s.
cable showed up, man. You know, the late '70s, early '80s. Remember MTV came out in '81, and that was like the biggest thing, you know, and and okay, back then we're talking. I think they had like 13 channels or something, you know, and there's still at that point, you know, they didn't have really crazy shit. You know, I mean, there was David Letterman and Johnny Carson and shit, man. You know, you didn't have 25 other 30 other people, you know, talk show hosts and stuff, you know, on all the time, you know, on every other channel and every 43 cable channels you got in your town or whatever, you
Oh
know.
man, I know. Now it's
And
ridiculous.
but see, like I said, they had 13 channels, man. So there's nothing else, man. No big deal, nothing crazy, no internet, no nothing on TV.
We didn't have
So,
any
but
internet.
so there was nothing. Yeah, there was no internet, man, really. But also at the same time in the '80s, early '80s. Now I wasn't one of the richest kids in town, so I didn't see one of these, or I didn't have one of these for a long time. But they had VCRs, you know, and you could get a VCR and
For
play
two
movies.
grand
Yeah, I mean that was expensive. That's why I said when I first
for a
came out.
shitty one.
The shitty one, top load, fucking chunk.
Motherfucking Cape Heart. Wasn't even a brand name or sound design or Emerson.
Yeah,
$2,000. You know, it's funny, man. Keep your thoughts. I watch a lot of nostalgia TV, man, and I watch Let's Make a Deal sometimes with Monty Hall. And I
right.
see this shit. They show a fucking microwave, a Gold Star or something, might even shittier.
Yeah.
850 bucks. Now that seems outrageous now, but that was in 19 fucking 70 when they were doing this shit.
In 1970, man, you know, people are taking home 70, 75 bucks a week.
Yeah, that was a good week.
Yeah, that's a good week,
Early
man.
70. I remember I worked in the hospitals, man. I grossed 139 bucks. I took home 106.
Yeah,
And
you was getting paid,
I was living large, man.
well, yeah, you was getting paid fat, you know.
I was, man. I had a great gig back then. I mean, minimum wage was like 11 cents. Whatever it wasn't much, man.
That bad.
Like a Mexican wage today, you know? It wasn't
But
that
see,
bad. No, it's about $1, $2 an hour or some shit or whatever. It
that's
wasn't
why
much. But...
that's the same reason I didn't have one when I was a kid because my dad wasn't forking out that kind of cash, you know.
Oh
It
man,
was
I had my first microwave in 80, I think, 1980, and I paid more than I should have. I mean, like I said, now you buy motherfucking one that'll do a turkey for 80 bucks and program it and everything. You know, back in the day, the only ones that really had them commercially was 7-Eleven. They had a Mana radar range, and
well
it
before that.
didn't carousel or anything. It was just in there, and it burned the fuck out of your shit.
And
One spot be cooked really good, another be raw.
oh yeah, man. But
That was
everything.
technology.
I remember I remember the old microwaves, man. But I'm talking about the VCRs when they came out. You remember that? And
Oh
you could
yeah.
go to the store and get a movie like you could watch a brand new feature film at home, or you could watch a mainstream blockbuster or something else with it. But
I
that
know, man. It was almost like the president came to your house. I mean, that was unheard of. How you could actually go to a store and watch a full feature movie at home.
but then people got a taste of this. They had this shit. It came out about the same time, man. Somebody got out there and put together a bunch of old footage and shit and stuff about Faces of Death. All this is
Oh,
all
hey,
action.
I watched that shit.
Oh, I know. Everybody watched that shit.
There was one stupid motherfucker that like wanted to bungee jump off this building in Kalamazoo. Motherfucker forgot he was like 16-story building. Motherfucker forgot to account for the 13th floor that nobody counts.
Yeah,
Went off the edge. He was 10 foot fucking more than he needed.
Yeah, and he bounced after he hit the ground.
Oh yes. Yeah, I saw many of the Faces of Deaths, man, because it was just morbid curiosity, I guess. There's a lot of weird shit in that motherfucker.
But now, see that right there set a precedence at that time. When they noticed that people loved seeing the real raw shit. And I'm not talking MASH or something like that, where it's a movie and it's a show and it's TV, and it's not real.
But
people see real shit. Now that right there, that was the first reality TV.
What, Faces of Death or MASH?
But no, Faces of Death was pretty much the first reality TV. MASH was a show.
Well, MASH was MASH in its own right, though, was not morbid reality, but it was a very good depiction of, and the actual, a lot of people don't realize, too, the first MASH that was the movie had Donald Sutherland. He played Hawkeye.
Right.
And Elliot Gould, I think, played Trapper.
But it doesn't matter.
And there was no laugh track.
At the end of it, there was a script. It was a movie.
Yeah, a script. But I tell you what, that motherfucker was.
That's not what people wanted to see, Bill.
Well, yeah, I know, man.
People wanted to see the Faces of Death. They
want
to see.
Well, it was reality instead of scripted.
Yeah, they wanted to see that reality, that real thing that's happening now, And they don't want to see something that someone wrote a story about and they hired all these actors and they come out and they played these parts and made it look really good and they know it's fake. They want to see the real
that's where
shit.
A lot of your TV at the time kicked in, like your Sally Jesse Raphael and your fucking, what's the fucker, man? Jerry Rivers.
But
that's his real name. Oh, Geraldo Rivera.
Happened, it blew up, man. And when the shit blew up, and we got the internet, we got all these channels, hundreds of channels and shit out there. Everybody's competing to get somebody to watch their show. So the biggest, worst, fucking crazy train wreck you could throw out there, they want you to watch, because people, they'll sit there, they'll take like, say, a sitcom that we really like. Me and you both liked Anger Management, 2.5 Men. I mean, look, they're paying Charlie Sheen. This guy's, he's worth it or whatever. He's making $1 million, $2 million every episode. Every episode.
Doing
and then
good.
you take this thing like The Real World or something. When they started that, you got a handful of kids that they specifically chose had lots of differences,
character defects.
They threw them all in one place together.
Oh yeah.
To live together so they could tape this shit and watch the conflict and play this shit back on TV now. And the whole thing only pays these kids out a handful of fucking cash on whoever's left in the end.
Well, that's it. Well, what they do is they turn around and they get all those motherfuckers with character flaws, and one's a recessive recluse and the other's an extroverted prick, and the hot bitch that only fucks extroverted pricks that are reclusive. So now there's two of them competing, and it's fucked up, man. What was that?
But in the end, though, man, the whole thing is, man, that they make as much money on the advertisement and everything, all the revenue that thing creates, as they do on that same sitcom that they pay 4 or 5 actors $1 million or $2 million a piece to be in.
Well, and then they took it to another level, like the Big Brother thing, but they'd have celebrities, I don't even call them the B list. They're more like the elemental P list, I mean, they have motherfuckers like Ron Jeremy, man, and the little dude from Michigan, man, Mini Me, Vern Troyer. And they
But
had this is one that I watched. I didn't watch them all, but they had that one, and they had Tawny Katane, which was David Coverdale's fucking wife from Whitesnake. She's the one who was on all those videos. Everybody thought she was what's her name, Raquel Welch's daughter, which is Tawny Welch, but it's not the same broad. But they had. But can you imagine, man, being consoled rather, by Ron Jeremy? You know, you'd be afraid sooner or later, like somehow or another, he's gonna say, "Oh, by the way, man, that's my dick." You know, it's famous and shit.
Have you seen this before? Would you like it to autograph something for you?
Yeah,
No.
I could slap you with it once or something. You know, I mean, even though it's down there, I can still hit you in the skull. I mean, that motherfucker. You know, but he was a smart dude. Okay, we're losing it now. Okay, we're back. We had a little pixelation problem, folks, and we're gonna take a break and recut from.
Well, I've kind of lost my chain of thought, man. But what I was getting at.
VCRs, man.
Okay, well, well, on the VCRs, when like I said, that we got into that, I've covered that part, or we started talking about that, but then it brought in the fact that you could see shit like the Faces of Death and stuff like that. And when people started noticing that brought into reality. Okay, we kind of covered that, but what I want to cover is the fact that why they're doing this, they're teaching kids and people that are watching it, they're giving a false sense of what really things are, you know, what real things happen, because they're creating most of the shit because they want you to be overwhelmed by an onslaught of train wrecks and stuff that it's going to make you want to watch this show, you know. So they're going to intentionally throw this stuff on it that really has nothing to do with life, and they're going to start seeing this as a norm and build their self-esteem and stuff, because it's like they got another show or something that just came out with, or just think about the show, that stupid thing, the Jersey Shore, Bill.
Oh man,
remember that shit, man?
Fucking what's that fucking Italian whore's name? Nookie or whatever the fuck her name was.
Yeah, fucking Snooky, man.
Snook, the fish. Yeah. Fucking Snook. Snooky
yeah,
the fish.
Snooky thinks she's a rapping mommy or something right now. She had a kid.
I know, you told me about that. I ain't even want to see it because this is gonna make me throw up whatever I ate that day.
Yeah, most people wouldn't believe it.
The fucking bitches actually had like Snooky shit on QVC or HSN selling shit. Who the fuck is this bitch? She was a fucking waitress in Shit Town or whatever, and all of a sudden now she's Snooky.
She was on WWE, man.
Nicole Polizzi or something. I would like to say on behalf of all motherfuckers that hate reality shows, Polizzi, don't do it again, bitch, please. Polizzi. I'm asking you, I'm begging you. What was that other motherfucker, man, that the masturbator, the masturbation, the stimulation, simulation, institution, whatever the fuck his name was?
The Situation.
Oh yeah, the Situation. What the fuck do you come up? I think he'd been better off he'd call himself the Masturbation, because that's what it felt like he was doing. He's just a fucking idiot.
Oh, the shirt, man, he's showing his abs and stuff, man.
Oh yeah, fuck his abs, man.
He was doing that shit on I don't even know who he is because I saw it on some other.
And who cares? Like I said, I remember him as the Masturbation. I mean, that motherfucker's nothing.
Yeah, he ain't nothing either, man. Neither one of the. But see, the kids are looking at this shit, man, and you see, this is pop. This is shaping their culture and training the kids to no longer demand any kind of a quality programming, because this is what they want to see, man. I said, according to the way things are in our society, morality doesn't keep anyone in business, man. So to throw out morality on television would be just wrong. So they're gonna do everything they could possibly can to show the most unacceptable behavior or outrageous shit they can on television to get you to watch it, you know. Just because there's so many outlets nowadays that the people they're fighting for that viewing, man. The views, they want the audience.
I know, man. But you know who I think is the cheap king? Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. You know, that motherfucker, I mean, you got to wonder, is there really that many sick motherfucking trailer trash pieces of shit that are willing to sell their nutsack for a fucking plane ride and a fucking hotel and a meal or something? They
Okay,
go on Jerry's, fucking
some of that
Springer.
shit's got. Some of that shit has got to be scripted, man.
Well, they
Because some
said that they entice the scenarios and stuff. And if you watch and see the clothes that a lot of them come out there with, I guarantee you that's wardrobe from Springer. You know, plain ass blue shirt, loose and shit so you can rumble a little bit, hot fucking little mini skirts and shit to show their asses. And because it kills me though. Who in their right mind? You're sitting at home and you're like, we got a lot of problems, bitch, but we're still hanging. She goes, honey, I can't believe this. We have tickets to go to Jerry Springer. Let's pack up the mobile and drive on up there, baby. And this motherfucker's like, yeah, let's go to Jerry Springer. Not a clue about why am I going to be on Jerry Springer? Every time, even though every motherfucker that ever goes on there, somebody comes out and says, I got a secret to tell you. I got 11 dicks. I'm a lesbian dude that used to be a lesbian dude. you know, it's fucked up, man. I mean, I've never seen more.
dude that used to be a girl that became a dude again.
That's it. That's what I'm saying, man. And it's always the same old thing. I mean, they're so in love, and then they tell them that, and then all of a sudden it's bitch slap time, man. Everybody's up throwing water, and then they do something like they fucking motherfucker get married on there and shit by some trucker from Nastyville, USA or some shit. And they
Whatever.
never get through the wedding because somebody fucking takes the wedding cake and puts somebody's head in it or some shit. But you know what gets me? It's like fucking wrestling. If I was going to get on somebody and get after him, man, I would fake right, go left, fake my arm, and put my fucking foot right through the
Oh,
dude's fucking nutsack or his chest. That bitch would, they'd see that motherfucker, it'd be like an episode of The Avengers. That bitch would leave the fucking ground and take off, man, on the end of my fucking foot. And they'd be calling paramedics after that because that's what gets me, man. Nobody ever gets fucked up on Springer. That's the funny part. It's like the A-Team. Nobody ever gets shot, and there's a fucking million bullets going off,
I'll tell you what, man. I'd be lying if I didn't say I did like to get medicated and watch Springer sometimes, man. Because
I
it's
don't
freaking
really enjoy that
hilarious.
shit.
That's some funny shit, man. That's
What cracks me up, man, is his final thought. Like, this motherfucker's a philosopher, like he's Aristotle or something. No, he's fucking Siesta Key, Florida, Jerry Springer, the motherfucking ex-mayor of Ohio, whatever, Columbus, and Dayton, wherever he was a mayor. And
but
he just capitalized on it, man.
he realized that 95% of the shit that hits that stage ain't fucking true. Or it's made up, or it's scripted, or something screwed up about it, or there's no way that this just fucking flowed together, man.
I know, and then you got Maury Povich. That motherfucker's made millions of dollars on reading a fucking DNA test on if it's your fucking kid or not. Now you would think, how do you get away with years and years of the same? It's like running one episode of Gilligan's fucking Island for 4 years.
People love to see other people's bullshit.
10 years maybe. That bitch been on there forever, man.
As long as they're willing to fucking show stupid shit on television happening to other people, there's people that's gonna want to watch it.
Well, yeah, misery loves company. If you just got out of jail and you're gonna watch Cops, because you'd be like, hey, motherfucker, now you know what I went through,
I tell you what, the worst thing I ever saw in my life was guys in jail watching a show about being in jail. This is a series.
Critique
on television.
It's called Locked Up, man.
It was called Locked Up. That's probably what it was. And these guys wanted to watch this all the time in jail.
You know, I mean, if you're a scaredy cat pussy and shit, that's what you don't want to watch. Because when you see somebody get gang raped on the series and dudes look at you and there's a Cheshire cat smile in the biggest motherfucker's face, you'd be like, this ain't a good day, you know?
Well, the way I looked at it, man, if you want to see a bunch of motherfuckers running around in prison, oranges or blues or something, man, you know, just look at the motherfucker standing next to you. You know, why the fuck, man? Why would you want to watch it on television?
That's it, man. No, it's not. I don't understand it either, man. I mean, you know, they say misery loves company, but that'd be the last thing I'd want to watch is like movies, you know, TV series called. Well, you can watch Prison Break, man. They probably wouldn't let you though.
No, no, some shit like that. Shit like that's pretty well censored, man.
Escape from Alcatraz, that kind of shit's probably not allowed, you know.
Now, every once in a while, though, you'll have a guard or something. They'll bring a fucking DVD or something in, man. They'll throw something out there. And I used to have this one man, and this guy, and I tell you what, man, he downloaded, and I said he stole more movies than anyone I ever known. He's a cop, man. but,
You know, the
but
cops got the best weed too, you know.
yeah, he got the best weed too. But he would bring the shit in, and but it was good. It was nice that he'd do it sometimes. We get to see some good new releases. Now, but one thing I didn't believe I got to watch when I was in jail was American Gangster. You ever seen that movie?
I believe I have.
That movie should
That's
not have been
well. Was it a movie or a series?
no, it was a movie, man. And I believe it might have been Denzel Washington. Might have been in it. It might have been the
Oh,
lead guy.
okay. It was Denzel, and he played.
It's a true story, man.
Yes, I almost think of his name. I wanted to say Slippy or something, but
I can't remember the brother either, man. But it's a true story, man. He became one of the largest heroin dealers, you know, and he took over quite a large area in the day when heroin first came in, you know. And
yes,
I
he
wish
did. I
I know
remember that, man.
why his name just fucking dropped off my mind. I don't know why. I knew his name a minute ago, but I mean, it was a good movie, man. But I never thought they should have shown that in jail, man, with a bunch of brothers there.
No,
But you know, they did that movie caused an attitude. They must have watched it 20 times. You know,
I'm curious, man. I'm gonna do a Google hit right now just to see what that guy's name was, man. Let me see real quick here. Who did Denzel portray in American Gangster?
Google searching, man.
Oh man,
Folks, this is what now when we get lost. This is what we do. I recommend Google search at any time, but don't always believe what it says.
Frank Lucas,
Frank Lucas. Yep, Lucas, but Lucas was he was the biggest drug kingpin, and I want to say it was Chicago.
who later went on to take all his drug money, changed his first name to George, and the motherfucker made all kinds of money with Star Wars, and he was white at that point.
He turned white.
He figured, fuck the black thing. He decided to put all that heroin money into Star Wars, and now it's George Lucas.
But
If you believe that, I got some property to sell you.
but no, but I guess that was it was a real. I guess it was a real movie, or based on a true story.
You gotta
Just
quit
like that
moving
one.
around too much, man. Pixelation's really almost killing us millions of times here, but I'm leaving it go because it cuts back quick. But it's like it seems like when you move a lot, it kind of goes out. So we must have a shitty signal on that side. Sorry, folks, not us. It's the weather.
Well, we got that far, man. But I just wanted to bring to people's attention, and actually I initially brought it to your attention, which ended up making us bring it to your attention. So everyone out there,
My
but
attention span, as you all know, is about 12 seconds, though. So next thing you know, I'll be
recently
talking about
on reality TV, man,
Volkswagens.
I think there's the effects of reality TV is I mean, although I do believe there's been some shows you know, that that actually probably made people more like the doctor shows and health shows and shit. Made people more conscious, or
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
there's a plus side to it. It's not all about looking at everybody else's pain, which in a way is good because if you can watch somebody else going through hell, yours doesn't seem so bad, you know.
but now at the same time on most of these shows, if you watch these doctor shows and shit, most of these doctors are like Doctor Dreamy and shit, and you know Nurse Ratchet, with the the perfect body and stuff,
That's
and
Nurse Crotch.
Nurse Crotch, Ratchet Crotch or whatever.
Nice crotch, you know.
But that shit right there, that's not necessarily real world, and then it kind of
No, it's
makes.
more like Nurse Ratchet in the motherfucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You get electroshock stimulus, and that's the best looking female you ever get to see.
Well,
She was terrible.
but when they do that, it just makes it makes it problematic. People tend to try to not see themselves as good as these people, these normal people out there doing this shit.
Oh yeah,
And
man, it's the Barbie syndrome.
yeah, it's the Barbie syndrome, and that has a negative effect.
I heard Ken was a fag in real life, though, man, too.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
how
true.
could you be a fag with a hot bitch like Barbie? But they said it perpetually, or not
Did you,
perpetually.
did you see the kind of clothes he wore, man?
Yeah, motherfucker looked like a Biff. He was a Biff. He was metrosexual before the term became, you know. But they say that Barbie would have been like 11 foot tall, man, and weighed like 11 pounds or something, you know. She, because of her size, man.
But I said, but, but I tell you what,
Nice
man.
boobs, though, man. I'd have done her.
If you were Ken, you would have done her.
I'd have done Ken, man. For who knows, you know. No, I really wouldn't have done Ken. But I'd have done Barbie, and Ken could have watched.
Ken could have watched. He could have filmed it. But I do think though that we need to actually get more emphasis on
Wonder if
kids.
he had as a rule like don't kiss in Mattel. You know me, man. Sorry, man. The brain's always working overtime.
You messed me up, man. You're fucking me up, man. But but
Sorry.
I don't see that. I see this stuff as when I watch kids I know and the people growing up and stuff, and some of the shit that they see into these things, and they actually lean towards them being real, these realities of survivors and all this, and no matter what you do, they're doing these survivors or this naked and alone shit, man. They're taping this shit.
I
There's
know,
a
man.
camp.
Did you
There's
hear
a
about
camp.
that though? Somebody forgot to pixelate something in one of those episodes, and the bitch showed her snatch,
Oh yeah.
and then she wants to sue. Now the motherfucker goes on a "You must be naked in the wilderness and eat shit on the grounds" TV show, even though there's other motherfuckers here going to be videotaping you like it's a porno movie. But
They
yet,
might see ass, man.
you might get a mosquito bite your nipple or a snake try to crawl in your ass or something. But
We're
you know,
gonna
we
film
will
that.
videotape it from a naturistic point of view. But you gotta wonder. And then she gets mad because somebody sees her puss. I mean, give me a break.
Did she win that lawsuit, man?
Probably it's probably about like the McDonald's hot coffee thing. Was probably because you know what it is, man. She didn't care if they showed the pussy. She saw a chance to get some cash, man. They fucked up. They probably had it in their contracts that all public boobisms and the pussy and the butthole and all this shit and the crack of the ass or whatever will all be
It's
pixelated.
gonna be blurred out. Yeah, yeah.
And then they didn't do it, so it was a breach of their contract. So she sued. And even though the judge probably said, "Really, motherfucker," he had no choice, because they
That's the way it was
guaranteed
worded.
they
Yeah.
guaranteed pixelation, and they did not deliver full pixelation. So
That's like fucking what was it? What's the stupid thing about? It was Tropic Thunder, man. The guy coming bitching the old Tom Hanks or Tom Cruise there, Les Desmond about his his uh his client not having Devo a TiVo. It's right here in his contract.
You know, it's funny, man, how contracts mean a lot. You know, they used to have a thing with Van Halen. They put shit in their riders and stuff about no green M&Ms.
Yep, I remember that
And
shit
they didn't
too.
give a fuck about the M&Ms. Everybody thought, man, what a bunch of sardonic motherfuckers, you know. They're sitting there wanting all this shit. And they asked for specific shit. Like, you know, certain foods for the roadies and stuff.
Right.
But the reason that they asked for this shit was because they figured if a motherfucker didn't read that shit and make that shit happen, what are they going to do when they forget to fucking put up a truss in a certain place or check this or do, you know? So they wanted to make sure that those motherfuckers read every part of their shit so they knew what they were just,
What
you know,
was
put down and
expected of
stuff.
them? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool. Now, you know, Roth, he probably invented that idea because that motherfucker is a prick. I hated Roth, man. You know, I mean, the motherfucker, he's probably the most outspoken, flamboyant front guy ever of heavy metal and stuff, but he ain't now. And that motherfucker still karates his shit, and he fucked himself up on Jimmy
Oh,
Kimmel, tweaked his nose.
you talking about David, man? David
Yeah,
B.
the big
Oh,
diamond.
I thought you were talking about Zeppelin for a minute there, man.
Nope, David Roth, man. And
Uh,
and that motherfucker, I went last time I ever saw him out live. I seen him in the Sam and Dave tour, and Sammy Hagar kicked his ass. I mean, I even had the clipping, man. You
I
know,
don't know why wouldn't he, man? Sammy was way above him.
yeah, but
Well,
not to listen to Roth. Roth would tell you that doesn't have any. Roth's a better singer. Sammy this. One thing he did say though was that in a fight, Sammy would kick his ass because Sammy was Golden Gloves, man, before he became a fucking singer, and he's a bad motherfucker, man. You know, Roth do all his ninja shit. Sammy just wait till he got tired out and walk in there and hit him and fuck him up, you know. But it was funny, man. Like I've seen many interviews with Hagar and Roth separate and together. And you know, like Roth's thing is he talks to shit like he says, Sam comes to the party. I am the party. You know, that's how that motherfucker thinks. He brought like he came to one of their shows, and this one's on the video, and he brought like these cat looking bitch triplets from the Playboy Mansion. This is his thing, just so he could steal. And Hagar called it exactly as it was. He said something about, you watch, Dave's going to come in here late and he's going to have some kind of a gimmick and shit and try to steal all the thunder. Sure enough, came in late on purpose, walks out with these fucking gold bitches all dressed in gold, face painted and everything. And then he's in his bus, late and shit, and somebody's knocking on the door and he act like it was Sammy. And he's, that's probably Sam. He says, what'd he say? Vodka bottle in one hand, dick in the other. That's what he said. But that's Roth, man. I mean, Roth is a motherfucking hack anyway. That bitch never. I mean, I'm sorry, man. This is more for the future. Should have been a hit it and quit it. But anyway, do you want to do the hit it and quit it? And if so, do we want?
I think right now, man. I don't want to. If we're gonna do kind of a hit it and quit it right now, I wanted to get on you on that subject with Hillary, man.
Oh
Right
man.
now,
Well, what's
right
good?
now,
We're gonna
Hillary.
have to just hit on certain little topics because that's a 2-hour program right there.
I know, man. That's what sucks, man. Because right now
Hillary's been at it again.
they're getting ready to bring this shit back up that they let her ass slide for in July.
Well, they should. That fucking bitch should be in prison.
That's right. They should have locked her up then, and they didn't lock her up. And now they got this WikiLeaks dude. I can't even say his name.
It's Julian Asshead.
Asshead, whatever his name is. Asshead,
No, it's Julian Assange.
Assange, man.
But Asshead's better.
This guy's saying he's got the WikiLeaks deal going on. He's got all these emails that came off her server that proves that she lied to Congress, right? Dead face lied to Congress in July.
Everybody knew that fucking cunt was lying anyway.
And I know that she did know she did know the shit was confidential. She did know there was weapons being sold to the enemy.
Hell
yes,
she knew.
She did know the shit was going to terrorists. She knew about the sales of the weapons she said she had no knowledge of. All this shit was on her server, and he's got all this fucking proof. That she knew. She had seen these emails.
I
She
know.
had read these emails. You know, no, she knew they were there. She knew
She's
all
all,
the shit.
oh, those bitches. Anybody that thinks that the Clintons are like, I've read so many articles, man, modern day political Bonnie and Clyde, and you know, Liars Anonymous and shit. I mean, that motherfucking bitch. It's not just that either, man. You wonder, did this is going to turn into a longer and hit it and quit it, but did you I lost my train of thought. Boom, 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 boom. Sorry, folks. It's what happens when you get older.
Well, we got going on here though, man. Hillary's hitting right now. The way when she lied to Congress, that right there, by any political standing, if they lied, anybody in that organization lies to Congress, that's an automatic 5-year felony.
Yeah, that's 5 solid too, man, because that's Fed
Five
time.
solid years, Fed time, man.
That
That's
bitch
getting
ought to
Hillary.
do some time, man.
If
And
it's
what's so fucked up is her medical on top of everything else, man. I mean, all you gotta do is go out there and look, and you'll see her. You'll see it all over the internet on YouTube with her seizing, having seizures twice.
Yeah, I mean, and I've seen that shit too, and I still disagree with the fact that they're really be able to put any of that against her for being president,
Well, you
because the
can't, man.
fact
You just don't. Here's
there's
the
no
deal.
no way
It's
to prove it, man.
Yeah, but well, you can prove it. All you gotta do is look at the fucking video. But the thing is, she is going for the highest, most powerful position in the world. You don't do that when you're fucking epileptic or something that is going to prevent you from being able to have cognitive recall at any given time. Man, look at Reagan, man. That motherfucker's coming down with Alzheimer's and shit. That's not nearly as bad. Yeah, you forget shit, but you're going to forget it with seizures too. And what if you're in the middle of a fucking State of the Union address or something? All of a sudden you're like, fuck. I mean, that's all, folks. Fuck that
But
shit.
well, and you're right. I've seen a couple of the videos and shit, man,
Fuck, one of them, she's with Clinton, and she's looking around, looking up, got her mouth open, looks like she's on fucking acid or something.
I've been thirsty trying to catch a raindrop. What the fuck, man? We don't
Even
know.
even a
But
goose knows not to look up when it's raining, man.
but Hillary don't. But no. What it comes down to it though, man, I think you're right, and in the aspect that if she had a serious problem like that, that should disqualify her. Period.
Oh
But
man, I saw, and I'll quote this, Judge Janine, I believe, and some other people on there. I was just looking at it last night. I mean, there's even speculation she could have syphilis and shit. And got it from Bill because she's got a hole in her tongue, and they said that sometimes that'll cause that crazy. And they said about her cackling laughs and how they go on forever and shit. That's a characteristic of somebody that has seizures and somebody that has no fucking personality, and she's both.
it is, and you're right. It's characteristic. But the key word you said is speculation or speculated.
Well, I mean,
It
people
doesn't
can
matter.
speculate that my dick's a foot long too, but because
That
they haven't
doesn't make
seen
it
it
true.
doesn't mean that it might not be.
But that doesn't make it true that it is.
No, but you can't.
Not that I'm going to give out any secrets, ladies. But
It is a
I
foot.
don't personally. I've never measured it.
We'll never know. But still, what I'm saying, man, is just because you haven't actually seen her dick, she still has one, man. Not legally, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. I mean, just because you haven't seen the bitch seize right in front of you, she's fucking has seizures, man.
Okay, but still, when it comes down to it, they have no actual physical.
What more proof do you need, man? Just because it didn't happen in your driveway, you look on a YouTube video and see some little kid walk out in the street and get run the fuck over, you're going to say, well, they have no factual proof of that.
But they still they know at this point they still can't use that because they're not trying to use that.
They don't have to use it. They got her on all this other shit if they just have the balls to pursue it.
Well, that's just it. And we all we can do is hope that they do pursue this.
Well, if they don't, man, it just shows how corrupt our fucking government is.
And we cannot let Hillary in office for no reason. No,
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 she cannot ever hit that office, man. She does. The United States is fucked for a minimum of at least 4 years. And like I said, how the people could be stupid enough to allow this will amaze the fuck out of me. I like I said, I may think about going to Bangkok or something, man. Got a lot of nice bitches down there, and I like the name. But still, in all, you know, I mean, if the fucking United States, I mean, look at like you said, Texas and all this shit is want to do a Brexit and shit. They're saying fuck this shit. You got to, you know, we're going to be the 49 states again.
That's right. We'll get the fuck out.
They'll have to cancel Hawaii 5-0 because now it'll be Hawaii 49.
You know what they'll do, man? Texas will step out, and since the Philippines is actually considered part of the United States, they'll just bring the Philippines in as part as one of the United States.
I can't see being in the Philippines and yeehaw in the same sentence.
Now, see, I don't quite understand how that works. Now, if you look on a regular, I mean, the Philippines is considered in the U.S. Now, how is the Philippines in the U.S.? You know, how did they become part of the U.S. United States?
I don't know. They had something we wanted.
They're not the U.S. of A, but they are the U.S.
Maybe they're just the U.S.
U.S. You know, so the way I always thought that they're part of the United States. I might be wrong because I don't
know, man. Philippines, man.
I had to look this up, man. You know, but I have seen this somewhere before that they're part of the U.S. and I don't know if U.S. stands for something else. Man.
Makes me think of this dude I used to know was from the Philippines, man. We joke. I don't remember what his name was, man. We used to call him Filipinas. Guy hated us for that, man.
I bet he did, man. I would have had a little issue with you myself if I was Filipinas.
we call him Ness for short, man. He hated that.
But whatever we do, and we will have to probably address this Clinton thing at a future podcast because the information's just now coming out. You know,
well, there'll be more.
I believe my time's running short anyhow here, and I think at this point we'll just have to let it go and then let you guys know that any comments you wanted to add, I would appreciate if you leave us some comments, some suggestions.
Oh yeah.
Always. Like us down below and subscribe if possible. We'd love to have you. And just as far as I can go for today, man. I guess right now I'm out.
You know? Alrighty. Well, then on that note, we will see you at a later date.
Sit down, sparkling up, see what you know.